Hello, my most amazing artists. Today's art lesson, we are still using letters, but we're going to make an abstract piece of art. Abstract is one of those fancy art words that means the subject matter or the thing that you were looking at in the picture, that we don't really know what it is. The artist left that up to you. If we see a painting or a drawing of a tiger, we know that it's a tiger. But if we see something that looks like this, we're not really sure what's going on here. Abstract art is kind of funny because we don't really know what's going on here. The way that you can identify abstract art is if it has three things: lines, shapes, and color. Now, a painting of a tiger or a drawing of a tiger will probably also have lines, shapes, and colors, but in an abstract work of art, we don't have a clear subject matter. All we have is the lines, shapes, and color. So in today's abstract art lesson, we are going to use those three things to make an abstract piece of art. We're going to use letters as our lines, and when those letters touch and overlap, they create shapes. And then we're going to use colors to color it. So we are going to write our entire alphabet on our one piece of paper. This is kind of like our chicka chicka boom boom lesson, but a little bit different. So we are going to write all of the letters A through Z on one piece of paper. Here we go. So when we start, it's easiest if you just start with A and go all the way through the alphabet. You want your letters to be really big. They are going to take up all the space on our paper. You can do uppercase letters like I'm doing, or you can choose to do lowercase, or you can do uppercase and lowercase. You can do a mixture. It is totally up to you. It also helps if you turn your paper after you do a letter so that we have a variety of directions that our letters are going. We also want our letters to interact with each other or overlap each other. So as I'm starting to run out of room, I'm letting my letters overlap or go on top of each other. And this is really important because once they start overlapping and interacting with each other, they're going to start to give us those really cool abstract shapes. Since I know I want my letters to create those abstract shapes, some of my letters are looking kind of silly, like that J. I wouldn't normally write a J like that, but I wanted it to touch the letter near it. And just like this K, I wanted it to touch that other letter and go off the paper. I'm going to go ahead and speed up the rest of this video just to make it a little bit quicker, but I did all of my letters A through Z on one piece of paper, making sure that my letters were big and that they were overlapping and interacting with the other letters that were already on my paper. So after writing my entire alphabet, I decided to color inside of those shapes that were closed in. I decided to use warm colors, which is red, orange, yellow, and pink. Some of my pinks tricked me and were actually kind of purple, but that's okay. So I chose to do these warm colors in the sections that were closed off. Then I was left with a bunch of open spaces, and I wanted to create some more abstract shapes so that I could color those in as well. So I took my black Sharpie or my black marker, whatever you were using, to connect some more of those letters together to give me some more closed off shapes. So I'm going to take my opposite color family, so my cool colors, to fill in the rest of these spaces. So I chose to use colored pencils to fill in these shapes because these shapes were a little bit bigger than the other ones. So I used colored pencils to fill in these shapes. And like I said, I used cool colors, which is the opposite of the warm colors that I had used for the first shapes. When coloring with colored pencils, You know what I'm gonna say. You gotta make sure you are coloring in the same direction. Pick one direction, either up and down or side to side, and pick that same direction. You might want to push down kind of lightly so that you have a nice, even covering with your colored pencil. And there you have it, my friends. That's a wrap on our abstract artwork for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have an awesome weekend.